So now that we know what measurement for improvement is, how do we go about it? Well, the good news is it's not just something that happens by chance. There's a simple process we can follow. And Mike Davidge from NHS Wales has called this the 7-step process for measurement. Step 1 is to decide the aim of the improvement project. What are we trying to achieve here? This should be a clear and succinct description, ideally just 1 or 2 sentences to say this is where we're trying to get to. It's a how much by when statement. Step 2 is deciding on the measures that we can choose to help us say, are we getting towards our aim? This might be one measure, or it might be more. There might be hundreds of things we can measure, but that might take a bit too much time. So let's try and condense it down a bit to the essential ones. Some of these might be outcome measures about what we're trying to eventually achieve. Some of these might be process measures, the bits that we need to reliably do to achieve that outcome. And some of them might be balancing measures, things we want to keep an eye on because they might change if we start to affect the process. Step 3 are the definitions of the measurement. These can be really hard conversations to have, and we'll start getting people to talk about who are we trying to do this for, what's the scope of our project, when are we trying to do it, how often do we need to measure it. These conversations, whilst hard, are absolutely essential because we all need to be working to the same definitions. Otherwise, if we see a change in the process, is it because of how we've measured it or because we've actually made things better? Step 4 is the first bit of the measurement cycle. We're moving into the collection phase. This will test out those definitions. Maybe you want to send out 2 people to collect the data the first time and see if they get the same answer to test out those definitions. With this data, we can then start to present it, which brings us on to step 5. Step 5 is the analysis and presentation of data. Presentation is critical. We want to be able to learn as much from the data, but not twist its meaning at all. We want to be able to see and understand the most important bits of it. Step 6 is the review part of the process, and that's challenging you to say, now that we've got this new information, this new learning, what are we going to do differently? Is that collecting a bit more information to be sure that this wasn't by chance? Is it to go out and test something else and then do some measurement because that change didn't work? And finally, step 7 is the review. Going through that measurement cycle, the collect, analyse, review, and repeating it for as many times as needs be to make sure that we've achieved our goal, to track progress, sometimes to check sustainability. Did it slip after we took our attention off it for a while?